Hey guys, SwankyBox here, and today's video is going to be a little different. Now, before you jump into conclusions about what this video is about, please hear me out because this is kind of a really important issue, and I really don't know what to do with it. So I'm going to just explain it the best that I can so that you have an understanding of what's going on. Now, a lot of you tuning in will probably be expecting a theory breakdown or some sort of lore breakdown on the FNAF timeline, given the new information that the game theorists put into play. And that might be something that I would consider doing, but I can't currently because, well, I'll explain why. But before diving into any of that, I want to touch on some things from the last video. Not really lore specific, but more so timing and I guess feeling specific. Obviously, the video came out during a very sensitive time. It wasn't even 24 hours before the video went live that we had heard about Ronnie's passing, and I want to let you guys know that that video was scheduled for a few days and it had to go on Thursday. Obviously, I had a sponsorship arrangement. I didn't know that Ronnie had passed, and it was just really unfortunate timing. Now, obviously, your comments, your dislikes, whatever, that's totally warranted. Obviously, your feeling, I get it. I didn't get to know Ronnie too well. I've only been in one meeting with him when I worked with Matt, but I definitely knew of his work and his animation style. It was the very cartoonish nature of what drew me into Matt's theory videos way back yonder before I was even doing YouTube myself. I just wanted to throw that out there. I just wanted to let you guys know that me releasing that video, it had nothing to do, and I had no idea it was going to be coming out. But now that that's all said, let's talk about the issue at hand. What's going on with my channel and how that video has become the bane of my existence, and probably not for the reason that you think. Because through that video, I actually discovered a way that someone could destroy any YouTube channel. And it has nothing to do with the video itself. It actually has to do with something that happened to my channel because of that video. Well, not even really because of that video, because someone selected that video to do it with. So I'm going to be diving into super nerdy YouTube stuff. Hopefully you guys will stick around to hear the full explanation. I got to set the stage a little bit because it is complicated and it's an issue that YouTube hasn't encountered before. But for those of you who have been watching the channel, I love nerding out about YouTube. I like making videos about how YouTube functions. I've done a couple different analytical pieces. I've actually done even a game theorist breakdown about how Matt's channel grew and the reason it grew. That's actually sort of what led me to actually working with Matt. But I've always had this passion for YouTube, and obviously I even wrote a book on it. So this is why I noticed this right away, because I'm always nerding out. I'm always going through my analytics, looking, taking notes, and that's when I noticed something very peculiar about that particular FNAF video, the one titled FNAF, MatPat is wrong. And it was a commentary on the FNAF timeline and the game theorist episodes on it. So kind of diving back to the issue at hand and what was happening with my video, it was being ran as an ad. So let me explain and clarify real fast. Having a sponsorship in a video is not the same as it being run as an ad. So how ads work is you have Google AdWords, which is the platform that people can use to put ads into the system for YouTube and other Google related sites. And now there's different ways you can also get other ads in too, but this is the most direct route that you can use to get these ads, appearing and spending marketing budgets and stuff like that. So when a video is being ran as an ad, there's a couple indications that it is being ran as one. Now, they're very hard to notice unless you're actually diving into your videos on a regular basis, which most people wouldn't do because going back and checking your, the description fields and in your settings for that video, you might be working on the next video, or that video may be way in the past. So there are a couple ways though you can determine that. One is looking through your Google Analytics and looking for YouTube advertising, which again is super irritating to find because you can't directly search for it. The only way you can actually search for it is if you have a direct URL, or if you go to the existing video, go into your analytics and look for YouTube advertising. It's a very manual process. You can't just run a search unless you know what you're doing, with the URL at the top. And beyond that, if you go into your video, you might also see something called a call to action tab. So when you're making videos, typically there are a couple different tabs. You have your main tab where you select your title, description, all that stuff. You have your monetization tab. You have a lot of different tabs that you have. But what happens is when a video is being ran as an ad, you get a new tab, and it's a call to action tab. Basically, you can put some overlays on your video that send people to a link that they can buy your product, go to your website, whatever you want them to do. It's basically the end goal of that advertisement. You want to convince people to go to that link. So this appears when your video is being ran as an ad. So if you were to go to Google AdWords and run one of your videos as an ad, this field would open up on the video and it never goes away. Now, that's an issue in itself for many different reasons, because you can't just run any video as an ad. You need special permissions. You have to take your Google AdWords account and your YouTube account, and you have to link them together. So the fact that my video was being ran as an ad, when my channel did not have any AdWords account linked to it, when it didn't have any third-party app access given to my Google account, the account that's associated with my SwankyBox channel, is super frightening because it's basically bypassing all permissions that are needed to normally do that process. And now you're thinking maybe, well, what's the big deal? Someone's running your video as an ad, it's free views. And you may be correct a little bit, but those views are extremely damaging for multiple reasons. For one, when you're running a video as an ad, you get to choose the title. So my video was called, FNAF MatPat was wrong. The person gets to choose a different title for that video. And the title they chose was something that promoted piracy. It was called How to Get FNAF for Free. And I found out about this only because I saw the analytics that my video was getting a multitude of ads being served up. And I was like, why is YouTube advertising listed as a source for my traffic? And I started diving into it and I was like, this is really weird. Then I saw comments popping up. People were saying, hey, why is this an ad? Why is this an ad? And I was thinking like, okay, well, maybe it has to do with the sponsorship. Maybe people are thinking like, why do you have a sponsorship on this video? But then I started getting very specific messages. Hey, Swanky, this is an ad. It's called How to Get FNAF for Free. Hey, why is this an advertisement? Why are you promoting getting FNAF for free? So then I got the phrase How to Get FNAF for Free and realized that's what the ad was called that my video was being used to promote. And this is where it gets weird though, because if I go to my call to action tab, there's no call to action. So you think if someone's running a video as an ad, that they would want to have it linked to the pirated game or to a virus to mislead people, but it was blank. And I don't know if that's because they don't have permissions to actually get on my channel to edit that, or if it was part of the strategy. And the strategy is the most important part out of all of this, because this is absolutely genius and for the wrong reasons. So it's also important to note that this is not a copy of my video. It's not just like, hey, someone downloaded my video and now they're running it as an ad. No, they're using the exact video on my channel, the one that has SwankyBox underneath it, and using that to promote something that I'm not okay with. And beyond that, it's crazy to think that they could do this, because every view that ad gets is going straight to my video. So of those 400,000 views or however many views the video has, all those views are tracked in my analytics and they are destroying the video. And like I said, the strategy behind it is the genius part. So a lot of people will think, well, it's free views. And even when I reached out to my MCN and talking to other people, even when I posted about this on Twitter, a lot of people were like, that's really funny, but at least it's free views. It's like, no, it's free views, but those views come at a price. Because when people watch this video, typically the average person is spending about 6 minutes watching the video. I think it's about 14 minutes long. And what's happening is that when people watch this video through the ad, they're spending 20 seconds watching that video and then they leave. And that's the scary part, because now the video has tens of thousands of ad views. And I think it's down to like 3 minutes now, because the amount of views that are being gathered in a day measured up against how many views are being bought as the ad are basically evening out, because the video is not as getting as much traffic as it was before, but ultimately it's killing the video long term. This video has an amazing shelf life. It can get views for a very long time. And this really applies to any video. Just because we're talking about this Five Nights at Freddy's video, this could happen to any video. But basically this causes the video to get, not as good ads on it. It causes it to not appear in recommendations. And basically, it's just killing the video in general. It's not going to have any life left in it. And let's talk about why this is extremely dangerous for any creator and even YouTube itself. So say you're a creator and you have a video that's doing pretty well. You just released it and it's getting a good amount of traffic, but not that initial burst of traffic. Like it's being recommended to other videos and that's when the traffic's picking up. Someone could very well come along, decide to run your video as an ad, promoting something like piracy or whatever. Just like my FNAF video, people came on expecting like, oh, I'm gonna get a free game download. Hey, this is a theory video. I don't want this. I leave. They could do that with any video topic. And one, it damages your integrity. Obviously, you don't want to be promoting pirating games that you're covering or pirating or doing anything that's against what you believe in. But those people have the choice to basically change perception. If someone's leaving the video in 20 seconds, that perception has already been changed and they're piecing out. And YouTube has a way to basically determine botted views. Like if someone's trying to bot your channel with views, they can eliminate those views. But the problem with these is these are all actual views. They are real people stopping in through an advertisement and then leaving immediately afterwards. So YouTube is tracking these as real views, and their automated process that gets rid of bot views isn't going to track this. So regardless of what you create, someone can smear your image and then basically destroy your channel by running these things as ads. And my channel took a big hit in terms of viewership because people typically would visit the channel and they would watch that video and they maybe check out a different video. But what was happening was, I think because this one video started underperforming, a lot of my videos across the board stopped being recommended to other people. And it sucks because it's definitely a deliberate attack. And I say that strongly because there's no reason to run a video as an ad to promote a specific product, even if it's a pirated game, without actually having a way to deliver on what you're trying to promote. The goal as an ad is to get someone off of YouTube to wherever your site is. But if you leave your call to action field blank, or you have no way to actually track what's happening, you're basically creating an open-ended ad that is being designed to mislead people so that they just abandon their watch on the video. Like I said, this is genius because it's like a black hat SEO tactic. And this happens all the time in like real life. People will create smear campaigns trying to damage other political candidates or whatever. The same thing can be done on YouTube, especially through this exploit. And I've been trying to get YouTube to respond to this for a long time. It's going on like 2 weeks now. I came back from a fishing trip with my father. I was off the grid for a week and I came back to this chaos and they haven't responded. And I went to Google AdWords support. I called them up. They didn't know what the heck was going on. I emailed creator support. They have no idea what's going on. My MCN's trying to talk to YouTube and they're not giving them answers. And I think it's because this is a problem they haven't dealt with before. And acknowledging this problem exists would basically cause everyone probably to pull their ads from the platform or to really just reconsider before, putting things on YouTube. Because like I could go, and if I knew how this exploit worked, I could go to any big brand and I could run their ads as something hateful, as something, misleading, and it'd be super damaging to their brand. And I think that's the reason why YouTube hasn't responded about this. But I have to make this video because they aren't responding about it and it's killing my channel. And I'm extremely, extremely frustrated about it. So I figured the best way to do it is to let people know that this exists. I don't know how you do it. I know it's there. And even on Twitter, I basically talked about this and I said like, hey, Team YouTube, I need your help. And then, the post got like 350 retweets and 300 something likes or whatever it was. And I'm extremely thankful for anyone who supported me trying to get that message to Team YouTube, but they didn't respond. And that's extremely concerning to me because I typically respond to high traffic posts and they do respond to normal posts as well. But because they haven't responded across the board, it's kind of saying that there's a huge problem that exists. And I think they don't know what to do with it. And I think they don't know how to track it down because even myself, I can't actually go out and see the ad. I created spoof accounts. I created basically blank accounts and tried searching up, hey, I want to pirate FNAF. Hey, I want to do this to generate enough search traffic associated with that account so that it would hopefully serve up my ad to me. That way I could right click it, copy the URL to it, and then use it to submit a claim because YouTube doesn't really know how to track down the ad. I know the video itself is there, but they don't know how to go back and eliminate it. And that's also another scary part about this. Because technically, YouTube is governed by automated systems. So let's say they see this ad, they see that it's promoting piracy, and they're going to remove it, right? They might just axe the video in its entirety because they think it's talking about piracy. They might not actually go in and check to see that, oh, I'm not the one who's promoting piracy. They might just destroy the video. They might just delete the video because they think it's causing damage, which it is, but it's not my intention because someone else is painting the illusion that that's what the video is about. So that could very well happen. This video that, I obviously spent time on could just be axed. It's going to cause a big viewership hole in my channel. And that's really only one issue. So the video being deleted, sure. But I could be punished for whatever this has done. Or this is the other side of the coin. Let's say that someone figured out an exploit on how to run an ad without actually spending any money. Because they're already bypassing permissions, absolute sign-off permissions that you need to normally do this. So let's say they're running this ad campaign and they got unlimited budget because they figured out a loophole in the system. Now let's say pay period comes around, right? And obviously YouTube or Google wants to be paid for the ad. And let's just say that they aren't able to collect money. So then they look to the channel that the video is being run on, and then they try to take action against me for something I'm not actually doing. And that's why it's scary, because this can happen to anyone. It might already be happening to you and you don't know it. And I'll talk about that at the end on how to actually identify this and see if the problem exists on your own channel. So for less than $100, whoever is doing this can wreck a medium-sized YouTube channel, a channel that has over 100,000 subscribers, just by instilling this practice. And it's causing algorithm damage. It's all basically throwing a bunch of wrenches into the automated system, and that's why it's so effective. And it's terrifying. And I understand why someone may want to do this too. Either you put out a video they don't like, or it's a way of sort of like gatekeeping too. Because technically, if a video is doing very well, this can be recommended from other videos that are doing well. So hypothetically, let's say the Game Theory timeline videos. They could be recommending traffic to my video because they're on similar topics. YouTube knows that, it connects the dots, it recommends it. But because my video starts underperforming, YouTube always wants to recommend upwards. It always wants to recommend to the most popular creators who have the most views and the most watch time, because they also have the most premium ads being ran on their content. So when my video starts taking a dip, YouTube, like I said, always wants to push up, always wants to push you and direct you towards the most popular channels through recommendations. My channel basically is eliminated from the running by doing this. All those views that would be going to my video would now be going to a different video because this practice was put in place. And I'm not saying that, this is anyone in particular. It's just that because I don't know the reason why this is being done. And I really want to know if this is happening to other people besides just me, because this could be just luck of the draw, or it could be something absolutely targeted because someone didn't like the video or they judged it incorrectly. I don't know. It could also be something through MCNs, because MCNs typically have a permission to run a video as an ad. So it might not even be a creator or a one-off person. This might just be a black hat strategy from an MCN out there that somehow has permission to do this as a way to basically keep others from getting views. Now, it sounds super obviously conspiracy theory, and it is, but I just want to toss out all the different sides to the argument and the different possibilities out there so you can kind of think about it yourself. Really just also to get it off my mind. So maybe even other people can pop down in the comments who have, insight on this, who can share their thoughts. That'd be super helpful, obviously. But anyways, I've rambled enough. I think I've covered all the points that I wanted to talk about. Like I said, I probably missed some because this is unscripted. It's just me venting my pure frustration and all the things I've encountered. I do want to say, though, I have a link in the description below that is a direct URL to checking your channel for display ads or YouTube advertising. Like I said, you can't search for this, but if you want to check your own channel, you can copy that URL. You can see it's a YouTube URL. It's not a spoof URL. I'm not trying to trick you guys. You can copy it. You can paste it. It's going to take you to your own channel's analytics with the category YouTube advertising selected for probably, I think, the past 90 days. You can change that to any day range you want. But if you have any activity on this, that means your video is being ran at some point as an ad. Now, if it's a small amount, maybe 50 views, 5 views or something, you see little specks on your graph, that's not really anything to be worried about. If you're an MCN, sometimes they can run your video as an ad, blah, 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 blah. It can be tracked as an ad. The thing you want to look for is if you have thousands and thousands of views in a certain date range on a specific video, that's when it's a flag. It's probably, I mean, I don't know, but I would say it's probably going to be a popular video, because if the strategy is what I'm saying it is, the idea is to use it to take down that video and destroy the shelf life of that video. So you'll want to look for that. And just let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you ran across these things, send me an email, shoot me a message, I don't know, tweet at me, do something, because I want to know how many other channels are experiencing this issue just like me. And I don't think this is something that many people are going to recognize. I only recognize it because I'm a super huge YouTube nerd, and because it goes, under the radar. People aren't going to check their views. They're not going to check their tabs. It's a very good black hat strategy to basically destroy your competition. So I want to address this head on. I want to give YouTube as much as they can to fix this loophole so that, people's integrity isn't ruined, so people's videos aren't ruined, so videos aren't deleted. So I need your help. Obviously, share this. I mean, if you want, share this with other creators. Tell them to go to the end of the video to kind of hear the explanation, how they can check for their own channels. But really, I just need help spreading the word. I need help getting it out there because YouTube is ignoring me. They're not giving me any answers, and it's super frustrating. So any help would be extremely, I guess any insight or just spreading the word would be extremely helpful. Also, like, your other creators out there that you like could also be damaged from this. So just keep that in mind. And I hope we can get to the bottom of this. I'm really curious to see, what it amounts to. But anyways, I want to thank you for tuning into this ramble. I really don't know how to close it out. Just thank you for watching. Thank you for hearing my plea. And I hope this was sort of insightful as well for those of you who don't, maybe not create on the platform, but you want to know how things run behind the scenes. But anyways, like I said, thanks for watching, and we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll have an update for this. Anyways, cheers, everyone.